Hi, in this lecture I'm going to show you how we add in Microsoft Excel. So to add two or more values we use the plus symbol. Okay, so just to take a look at our examples, in this cell we've got 2, then 3, and 4. Now, how to add them, we basically use the equal sign, and then we select our cell B11, then a plus symbol, then we select C11, then a plus symbol, then we select D11. So it's basically here, and that gives us 9. Let's look at our next example. Okay, so we've got 10 here and 10 here. So again, the syntax is exactly the same as the first example. We use the equal sign, we type in or select with the mouse B14, we then use the plus symbol, we then select cell C14, and this gives us 20. Now the plus symbol, apart from adding two or more cells together, you can also use it to add a value to a cell. So for example, here we've got 50. Let's say we wanted to add 150. So we type in equals B17, then we would use the plus symbol, and then we would type in our value, 150. And this would give us 200. So that's how you add in Microsoft Excel. Now, there's a function called sum, which is, again, used to add numbers. Now, this is the more popular way of doing additions in Microsoft Excel. The reason being is because it's very easy to grasp once you get the hang of it. Now, the syntax for this sum function is basically, it needs a minimum of one value, and then after that, for the next value, you separate it by a comma, and then you select your relevant cell or value, and so forth, and then you close the bracket. So to give you an example, or two, you've got 20 here, then 50. So if you wanted to sum these two values up, you basically type in equals, then sum, open bracket, then select B30, then C30, then close the bracket, and that gives 70. Right, another example, we've got 20 here, then 30, then 50. So we've got three values. Again, exactly the same procedure. We use the sum function, open the bracket, and for each number we separate it by a comma, we then close the bracket, and that gives us 100. Now, apart from selecting individual cells, you can also select a range of cells. So just to take a look at this example here, we've got 3 cells, each with a value of 50. Now, I want to select the whole range from here to here. So to do that, we basically, again, use our sum function. We open bracket, and we use the mouse to basically select our start value, and then we drag all the way across until we get our end value, and then we close the bracket. And in this case, that gives us 150. So just to show you how to do that, if I type in equals sum open bracket, right, so then I select our first value. Then I'm holding down the left button on the mouse. And I simply just move it along to all the values that I want to include. So as you can see, the formula has adjusted itself to D35. Then when I've finished, I let go of the left mouse button, then I close the bracket, and that gives us 150. Okay, so in addition to selecting a range of values, the cells don't have to be next to each other to actually add them. And again, all you have to do is just click on the ones you need. So whereas in these examples, all the values are next to each other, they don't actually have to be next to each other. They could be anywhere on the sheet or workbook. So in this case, I've given 2 examples. One, we're basically selecting the whole range. So we're selected this whole bit here, and it's added the numbers in here. And in this example here, we've just simply selected the individual cells, but they're not next to each other. So this is just an example to show you how it doesn't matter where they are on the sheet, you can still sum them. Our last example, again, is similar to our previous addition example, where you can add a value and not a specific cell to another cell. So in this case, we've got the value 40, and we want to add another 40. So all we have to do is start off syntax sum, open bracket, B47, comma, then 40. And that will give us 80. Okay, so that concludes this lecture. You have learned that using the plus symbol and the sum function can be used to add values together in Microsoft Excel. And those values can either be in a specific cell or you can specify them directly into the formula. Okay, so that concludes this lecture. Thank you for listening and watching.